When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever.
Sick with the talk, pass to your receiver.
All about running the spot.
And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather.
Cardio kingpin.
Subjugate the dub play.
And you know we can't wait to bring spins.
A-star quizzes, A+ the final.
Vocals we align, we'll move it all
simultaneously over joints we rock.
We earn
30 years, so you can say we got
3 turns.
Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men.
We install doubt in you and your yes men.
And if the game had veins, we'll insert
upheaval the ground.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Ahead, we'll see Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks as they take on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at US Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
Put the ball in the air, and we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense here set to take over with Russell Wilson leading the way. Wilson, a Pro Bowler 5 times in his 7 NFL seasons, including last year, when he threw for a career-high 35 touchdowns to just 7 interceptions.
Check Mike 54, line 54. Let's go, D. Let's go.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And this is caught by C.J. Prosise. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
10 yards and a Seattle 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
380. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Here we go.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Flushed out right. And he's going to keep it here. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there will be designed runs as well as his scrambles.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Oh, they'll try the sweep. It's Lockett with it. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. It's Everson Griffin who made the tackle. And here's the starting offensive unit for Seattle.
And the play of this offensive line is going to tell a big story. And right now, if you're a fan of this team, You're loving the story that they are telling. They've already created some holes in the running game on this opening drive, and they're going to need to keep it up for these guys to have a big chance at victory.
The first carry for C.J. Procise. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Harrison Smith's play has been so good in the NFL that he demands the respect of everyone. And I remember a couple years ago when we talked about the top safeties, his name didn't come up in the first group. It does now. I remember doing a game a couple of years ago where the Rams were trying a lot of razzle-dazzle stuff. And Mike Zimmer, his head coach, pretty much said, sick him to Harrison Smith, and he ended that in a hurry. He can play close to the line of scrimmage, can also cover deep.
On third down, Wilson. And he's got his target. That's more. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
Wilson gives to Procise on the delay. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Eighth play of this opening drive coming up. This is third down. From the shotgun, Wilson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a dangerous throw towards the end zone. Boy, did it hang up there forever. Wanted to run up there and pull it down out of the sky.
Yeah, it felt like it really should have been intercepted. Lucky to have that one back.
You've got to be more careful when you're that close to the goal line.
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on fourth down. It's Jason Myers. And Myers able to knock it through. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So here are the Vikings under 6-year head coach Mike Zimmer. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
Forget the measurables. His temperament, which is so even-keeled, often masks a burning desire to win and perform. This guy takes it seriously when he lines up to play, and usually he puts on a nice performance.
Cousins. Complete. Smith has it. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
And running back Dalvin Cook was drafted in 2017 to be the lead runner for the Vikings, and he should love what they're putting in for him in 2019. This is a run-first, run-heavy offense as dictated by their head coach. Dalvin Cook should get more than enough carries to threaten 1,000 yards rushing this season.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Cousins now. And incomplete. The linebacker Bobby Wagner able to get back in coverage and knock it free. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
Now one of the leaders in the Seattle secondary is safety Bradley McDougall. Since the retirement of Cam Chancellor, he's really had to step up and take on a primary role. Excellent against the run, solid in coverage, 2 interceptions in week 1 of 2018, and never looked back.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on the punt. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Play action. It's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. He's going to take off with it. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 3 yards on 1st, 4 on 2nd, and now 5 on 3rd down. Move the sticks.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route, but he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Wilson to Lockett there for the Seahawk first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Mike 54. Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. David Moore, the intended target, but it'll be second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They run it with Carson. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 19. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now it's Carson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That penalty against DJ Fluker, the behemoth out of Alabama. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They go play action with Wilson. Sliding out of the pocket. Now he'll pull it down. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Mike 54.
Hey, watch the ball, watch the ball.
Mike.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
Well, that was point-counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. This is Carson. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Here's Wilson to throw. He can run for it, and he will. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. Myers' kick is good. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. Well, that will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny, we had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator, and what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now out comes Minnesota. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 27, Cousins looking middle, and it's incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Throwing, Cousins. He'll dump this off to Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Cousins gives way to Cook. Cook stripped. The ball's out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog.
Working out of the gun, Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. First down, Seahawks.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10.
Watch the curve.
Here's Carson. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. That's 6-0 our score after 1. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me.
Now a give right side. It's Carson. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Wilson turns and gives to Procise. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now a give right side. It's Carson, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On 2nd down, it's Carson, and he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
He may try and run for this. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first.
You and I both know most coaches are really fearful about their quarterbacks running with the ball. They don't want them to take that big hit. I don't think they worry about that with Russell Wilson. He's so smart in what he does, and we just saw it there on that scramble.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
All day, every day, any day.
They'll toss it out to Carson. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA and playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. On 2nd down now, it's Carson, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. They go play action now. Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he coughed it up, and the Vikings pick up the football. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Cook. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Strip the ball. Strip that ball. Mike's 50. Mike's 50.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Vikings on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football, but you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And he's been busy with his feet. He's been quite the scrambling man.
And obviously that can break down a defense, but a lot of it is just that they just get trapped with worrying about it so much that other things break down as well. You know, you break the huddle, and you're not just playing what comes out at you. You're like, oh, God, don't let him outside of the pocket. Don't let him beat us with his legs. And then he starts to beat you other ways. And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The drive starts with C.J. Procise. And the ball is knocked out, and the Vikings pick up the football. And good field position coming up here. The football at the 12-yard line.
Well, that sure started out as a good example of what they call backed up or coming out on offense, meaning you're backed up close to your own goal line. Big-time emphasis on practicing that to try and create some room at no less to give the punter a chance to kick the ball away. It means take care of the ball, try and create some space. They were doing that, and the ball comes free.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. Cousins now after the fumble recovery. And this is Cook with a grab. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a gain of 5, and it's a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
To throw again on 2nd down, Cousins. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a 1st down.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop, but when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here, back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On 2nd and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54.
To throw, Cousins. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd and goal.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah,
what happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Now Cook. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. And pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
On 2nd down, it's Carson. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try the left side. Carson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 15. 1st down, Seahawks.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Break back. 380. 54 Mike. Let him know, let him know. Let him know, let him know.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Carson, and he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Wilson now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's 1st down. Wilson throwing quickly out to Lockett. And he gets it down to the 32. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Draw play. This is Carson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 15. 1st down, Seahawks. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. I'm going to come back to you. Back to you.
On the draw, it's Procise. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll try the left side. Carson. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. He could muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
A third field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on third down. To throw is Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And it's up and good to make the score 13-3. A 10-play drive that time. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They're in a 13-3 hole here now as they come up on first down. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 22.
He's checking. Crash.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They're running it.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. Cousins. And the catch made by Johnson. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. Here's Britton Colquitt now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And that's a 48-yard punt with a coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Marshawn Lynch heading back out into the huddle. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the second quarter. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end, could be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did.
No doubt about it. There's no way you're not going to account for him.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson looking for the out route, and he's got more. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Short throw to Disley. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. That'll pick up the 1st down for Seattle on a gain of 18. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the left hash, this from 37. And Myers able to knock it through, and the lead stretches. 16-3 now. Still a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
They go play action. Cousins, and that is incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. They run. Cook. Looking for a crease. Can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Throwing is Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. This is caught inside the 15. Cousins finding Diggs on a big one, 51 yards. Now, they've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. From the gun, here's Cousins. Johnson's got it complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Cousins, and that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown catch as his guys are back within a single score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead will shrink to 6. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's polished off by a Vikings score. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking. And
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line.
Hey, whatever happened to the days of just getting a fumble recovery? Everyone's into taking it the other way and trying to create points themselves, aren't they?
Well, they are, and now a terrific opportunity inside the 5. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Taking it in from 2 yards out as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now, 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on, and remember what I said. It's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
My bad.
Bailey got the extra point, and that will put them on top here in the third. Well, they got the ball in great field position. 1 play later, boom, end zone. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Now it's Wilson. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, Tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Mike 5-4. Yeah.
On first down, it's Carson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Tackle made by Everson Griffin.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Check. Watch 54. And let's get this.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Open man is Jacob Hollister. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. He is looking to help his team build their lead after trailing at halftime. They've got to like the spot they're in right now.
They have to love it, but as you and I both know, cliche alert coming here. You're only as good as your last possession, but I think that they like, as you said, the spot they're in and how confidently they're playing at this point.
But again, just a one-possession lead, looking to expand that now. Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. He'll find Metcalf. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't
they?
Yeah,
when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
On second down now. It's Carson. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on third down. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
Check right 54. Right 54.
Here we go, D.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Wilson. And now he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead.
Defensively by now, you know his ability. You know he has it in him to take off and run.
Yeah, because they knew coming into this game, but we've already seen examples in this contest that he can run the football. I
think they're going to examine different ways to rush him now. Are they going to do it with different lanes? Are they going to use a spy? But they have to come up with options because right now, he's hurting them.
Pete Carroll in that familiar hands-on-knees pose. His guys will go for two here. Wilson. Rolling to his right, and he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Again, it's Cook. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And he's able to find Diggs. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. So they did not bring pressure, and turns out probably a bad idea.
Yeah, he had time to stand in the pocket and deliver a strike. So I'm wondering if they're going to note that, and next time just go ahead and bring that pressure.
Cousins now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the 42-yard line.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Cousins. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
Here's Britton Colquitt now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
On second and a yard, Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. They get 17 on that one, move the chains, first down Seahawks.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Wilson now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's first and 10. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Squeeze down the number.
Now on second and 13, Wilson, and that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Throwing again here, Wilson. And that will be incomplete.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on third down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. And after a rough start, as we take a peek at the numbers, he's going in the right direction now.
So often when you see a game start the way we saw this one start for him, you just wonder if he's got a chance to bring it back at all, and that's exactly what he's done. Love seeing that happen simply because you know a guy has struggled, and now he's found a way to make things better. That's pretty good stuff right there.
A gain of 6 there on first. From the 26, they'll line up on second and 4. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen.
Out of bounds at the 36-yard line. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up second and 4.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now a run with Cook. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They run it again with Cook. And he loses the football a second time. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first.
I know you felt that one.
So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
The lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Check 55 to mine. I'm coming, baby. I'm coming, baby. Woo!
They run again with Carson. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Check right 54. Right 54. Watch the pass.
They'll run on first down. Carson, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Watch the run.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. It's caught, Lockett. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one good for 26 and a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 41. And on the ground they go with a running back. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Wilson going to hand it to Procise. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
From the 24. Wilson steps away. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. He hits his running back, Procise. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
On 2nd down, it's Carson. Oh, no, he lost the football. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the first down. This time able to hold on to the football, but not much room to run. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Myers' kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go!
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So the pass goes out of bounds, but he was not outside of the tackle box when he threw that. He's got to be careful.
You and I both know if it's even close, They're going to give it to the quarterback. They don't want to throw that flag unnecessarily. So if you're just in the area, you're going to be okay.
Kirk Cousins last year started all 16 games, but only led the Vikes to just one fourth-quarter comeback like he's trying to do here. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
The Vikings on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
Here we go.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Not today.
Cousins again. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 25 yards that time.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 36. To the air again, it's Cousins. His throw incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And now it's 2nd down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Again, it's Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is, he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
A 53-yard attempt.
That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or 2. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. Who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Wilson now. Throwing again. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. They go play action now. Wilson. He'll buy some time right. He can run for it, and he will. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. And out now come the Vikings. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there, we've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
On play action, Cousins. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. They were looking for Johnson that time.
Well, you're trailing. It's the 4th quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
Good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. From the shotgun, Wilson, quick slant, caught by Moore. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Let's go.
They have the 1st down with that gain of 4 yards.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one.
Mike. Ready? 55, Mike. Yep. Watch the twist.
Now Wilson on first down. That's caught by Hollister. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
First down, Seahawks.
This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down if they want to take another shot and try.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, two-score game, so hold on here, not done in the fourth. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. With his guys trailing here in the fourth, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. 17 yards, first down Vikings. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Cousins on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
So second down, still 10 yards to go, ball on the 43. Now Cousins, and Rudolph has it, the tight end. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. They'll throw again. Cousins. His throw caught at about the 5. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. First down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
What can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Quentin Jefferson, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. A toss to Cook. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd and goal now as they try to punch in a late touchdown. Here's Cousins. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Cousins pass. Incomplete. Out of the end zone. Shaquille Griffin there defensively.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Bailey's kick is good. And this is back down to a 7-point game. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a 1st down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time. Let's get off the field.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
In your face.
They'll keep it on the ground. Carson. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a give right side. It's Carson. He's got the 1st down and more past midfield. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a 1st. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the 1st half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Check line 54. Line 54. Come off the ball. Check.
On 1st down, Carson. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Got 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
You got nothing today. You got nothing.
Out of the gun, here's Procise. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
And he's got the hook up to Moore. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Minneapolis, so long, everybody.